Why did B.Lou's rap career fail? B.Lou, real name Brandon Burden, is a 29-year-old streamer and YouTuber who rose to popularity with his partner Zayas around the 2016 era of music, with both of them meeting in college as teammates on the same football team. These guys were actually a big part of the 2016 era, with their biggest video to this date being their reaction to the XXXTentacion song Look At Me, and with their second biggest video to this date being their reaction to the Juice WRLD song Bandit, even including Juice WRLD himself in the room. So one could say that they were early pioneers of the genre of bringing rappers on stream, leading to streamers like Aiden Ross, Blackboy Max, and Kai Cenat. So it goes without saying, these guys were definitely a crucial part of an era. But their accomplishments aside, we're here to talk about why B.Lou's rap career failed. Because even after 8 years since his debut to the internet, B.Lou is still rapping, recently dropping a diss track on Canadian rapper Drake that was unfortunately met with bad reviews. And it just seems like no matter what era of rap he's in, he's just not welcome. So why is this? Well, before we can answer that question, we have to answer how B.Lou became a rapper in the first place. Going back to the earliest video on the Zayas channel, from the very beginning, the vibe of the channel was set with a freestyle at the beginning of every video, or at some point in the video. So it was no surprise that B.Lou would start uploading his own music in the form of remixes in 2017 to songs like Take Haze The Race, Gucci Gang by Lil Pump, Rubbing Off the Pay by YB and Namir, and later on, Beatbox by Spot 'Em Got 'Em. Eventually, he would release his first song, Molly, and over the years he would go on to release 10 singles and 2 albums. But despite being a part of the most culturally relevant YouTube channel in the music scene, why didn't his music career take off with his notoriety? Well, after doing some digging, I think we can break this up into 5 reasons. Starting with the era B.Lou blew up in, which was the diss track era. For those of you who don't remember this era, this was a time where a lot of YouTubers would drop diss tracks on each other, from Rice Gum to KSI to Jake Paul, and if you guys even remember, Quadeca. Well, during this diss track era, KSI and Quadeca got in a little beef, with KSI going on an interview and saying that both Quadeca and B.Lou's music was mid. To sum it up,
there for me. As good.
Quadeca, his latest track is dead.
With B.Lou?
Yeah, it's dead.
And B.Lou and Quay would do a whole thing where they got on a phone call with each other to retaliate. Why B.Lou never got involved with the beef directly by dropping a track of his own? He had already aligned himself with the crowd by already being a YouTuber dropping music in this era. Reason number 2 is how B.Lou rose to fame. As we already know, B.Lou rose to fame with his partner Zayas doing reaction videos. But the problem lies in the fact that B.Lou didn't start the channel with Zayas. In fact, he didn't join the channel until the 20th upload on October 16th, 2016. I mention this as a problem because it shows that B.Lou didn't really have a solid foundation for himself. While now he does have his own channel going by the name of Luwap, everyone really knew him for his appearances on the Zayas channel. Even though he's made an appearance on every video on the Zayas channel since he's joined, the same can't be said for Zayas making an appearance on the Luwap channel, which kind of created an unbalanced power dynamic between them, where B.Lou has to be on the Zayas channel, but Zayas doesn't have to be on the B.Lou channel. And I state this as a problem because even on the Luwap channel, he doesn't pull in views nearly as much as he does on the Zayas channel. But since Zayas started the channel on his own and by himself, I do understand him keeping the name of the channel his own name. But he also created a second channel later on after establishing success called Zayas Live or something like that. I'm not sure, I'm sorry. And on both of these channels, B.Lou makes an appearance on every single video except for the first 20 that I mentioned earlier. And the reason why I feel like this interfered with B.Lou's music career is because he's given up a big portion of time to work on both of these channels while still working on the Luwap channel. And while I'm sure that they split up the money in a way that they both see as fair or just, it does kind of put Zayas in a better position. A Batman and Robin situation, so to speak, where Zayas comes off as the main character, or in this case Batman, and B.Lou just kind of comes off as a Robin. Had the main channel been called Zayas and B.Lou and they both went on to make second personal channels, I feel like it would have helped a lot more. Because let's be honest, without the both of them as a pair, the channel wouldn't be nearly as successful as it is now. That's like the Abba and Preach channel just being called Abba. Now, for the third reason why I feel like B.Lou fumbled his music career is how he chose to release his music to the public. And this kind of ties in with the last reason. I mentioned that B.Lou dropped 10 singles and 2 albums, not including the newly released Drake diss. Other than dropping a few remixes on the Zayas channel, his original work was always dropped in odd places. Whether it was the videographer's channel who shot the music video or the feature on the song, it just never seemed to be in a consistent place. With the main Zayas channel being in Zayas' name, also being a reaction channel, and also being mostly owned by Zayas, B.Lou couldn't drop his original work on there consistently. which left him with no solid foundation to post his music to the original fan base that was looking for it. And with how he chose to release his music, it just ended up coming off more like he was relying on his name to bring in the views and the numbers. But unfortunately, sometimes that's just not enough to grab people's attention. Compare this to another YouTuber who also started making music. Somebody like, let's say, DDG. Now, say what you want about DDG, but he's still in a position that most rappers would kill for. Is it Drake level? No. But regardless, it's still a position that most rappers would kill for. But the advantage that he had over B.Lou was that he was able to post his music directly to his fan base on his main channel, building that foundation that B.Lou missed out on before spreading out the pages like World Star and even making a dedicated music page. And for the last two reasons why I feel like B.Lou's music career didn't work out, they kind of come into one reason, so I'm really cheating you on this one. But regardless, I feel like the audience that was interested in his music 8 years ago when he started has outgrew him, and he just didn't adapt with them fast enough. When B.Lou dropped this Take K the Race remix, it was okay for what it was at the time because no one expected much from YouTube rappers at the time. And it was just kind of a big joke that most YouTube rappers either had to improve or prove their skill to be taken out of this joke category. Like DDG, for example, and even to this day, he's still fighting that battle. Or the other method is to get a very popular artist in the rap industry on one of your tracks. For example, KSI. But B.Lou didn't do either of these things. The skills he still demonstrates to this day are very 2016-ish, leaving his fan base in a position where they don't feel a need to check it out. But yeah, that's why I feel like B.Lou's rap career didn't really work out the way he'd hoped. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't any hate towards B.Lou or Zayas. I think they're great friends doing great things together. But this is just observation I made on why I feel like it didn't really go the way he'd hoped for it to go. But at the end of the day, for all I know, maybe it's not something he wanted to take seriously, but I feel like he kind of maybe wanted to take it seriously. Does this mean that he can never change this? That's also not true. I feel like depending on his actions going from here, he might be able to change how his music career could go. But anyways, if you liked the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're currently at like 600 and we're trying to get to 1,000 before March. But yeah, it's been that boy SB Cap, the Bonded Bandit, reminding y'all boys to keep chasing the bag.